What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Atlanta, Georgia certainly has some amazing suburbs, but which ones are the most expensive? Let's talk about that right now. Number 10 on the list for the most expensive suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia is East Cobb. East Cobb is technically in Marietta, and Marietta is located north of Atlanta, about 30 to 45 minutes from the city of Atlanta. As you can imagine, East Cobb is located on the east part of Marietta, and the city center of Marietta would be Marietta Square. Marietta Square has lots of shopping, lots of restaurants. They have a park in the middle called Glover Park, and is really a great place to hang out and spend time if you're ever in Marietta. The average home value in East Cobb is $500,000. Number 9 on the list for most expensive suburbs of Atlanta is Peachtree City. The average home value in Peachtree City is $521,000. Peachtree City is located in Fayette County, which is on the southern side of Metro Atlanta. Peachtree City is about 45 minutes from the city of Atlanta, and one of the things that makes Peachtree City so unique is that it's a golf cart community. Many people who live in Peachtree City have golf carts, and there are golf cart paths all around the city. So if you're ever needing to get to a grocery store or wherever you might be going, if you live in Peachtree City, it's very common to take your golf cart for a ride on the golf cart path to get to wherever you might be going. The average school rating in Peachtree City is about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Peachtree City is certainly one of the most desirable cities to live in all of Metro Atlanta. Number 8 on the list is Roswell, Georgia. The average home value in Roswell is $670,000. Roswell is also located in Fulton County, just south of Alpharetta. Roswell has an amazing downtown area in downtown Roswell. Lots of shops, lots of restaurants there. Really has an old-time feel to it. It has a lot of historic charm in the city of Roswell. Also very close to downtown Roswell is Vickery Falls. Vickery Falls is a waterfall that's very close to the downtown area. Lots of hiking there, lots of trails to walk around there. It's really a great place to visit and one of the best green spaces in all of Roswell, Georgia. The average school rating in Roswell is about an 8 out of 10, which makes it a really good option if you're wanting to live in Roswell, Georgia. Number 7 on the list is Alpharetta, Georgia. Alpharetta is everybody's favorite, and the average home value in Alpharetta is $700,000. Alpharetta is located on the north side of Metro Atlanta, about 30 to 45 minutes from the city of Atlanta. Alpharetta is really a beautiful city with excellent schools. It's a very desirable city to live in. There are also lots of parks and green spaces in Alpharetta. And as for city centers, Alpharetta has downtown Alpharetta, which is an area that has a big green lawn there. A lot of people hang out there, especially nights and weekends. Lots of shopping and restaurants in downtown Alpharetta. Also in Alpharetta, super popular is the Avalon. Avalon is a great shopping area. Some of the stores that are in the Avalon are the Apple store, the Tesla store. They have a great coffee shop there called Cafe Intermezzo, is one of my favorites. If you're ever in Alpharetta, you certainly want to check out the Avalon. Number 6 on the list of the most expensive suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia is Johns Creek. Johns Creek is located a little east of Alpharetta. Johns Creek is in Fulton County. Some of the other cities that make up Fulton County are Alpharetta, Roswell, and Milton, and Sandy Springs, and Atlanta. So Fulton County is a very big county, probably the biggest county in all of Georgia, and Johns Creek is one of those cities. Unfortunately, Johns Creek doesn't have like one of these kind of city centers like Alpharetta or Marietta Square, but there certainly is a lot of shopping, a lot of restaurants, lots of things to do in Johns Creek. Also, Johns Creek has excellent school ratings there, and Johns Creek really is one of the most desirable cities to live in all of Georgia. The average home value in Johns Creek is $707,000. Number 5 on the list of most expensive suburbs of Atlanta is Vinings. Vinings is just northwest of the city of Atlanta. Much of Vinings is within the perimeter, so inside 285. Vinings is part of Cobb County and is just recently becoming a city, or is about to become a city. or has already become a city. Either way, Vinings is a great area to live. The average home value in Vinings is 750, and some of the things that makes Vinings so unique is that it has excellent shopping, excellent schools there. It's a very desirable area to live, and then it's also on the corner of 285 and 75, if you can say the corner. Those are two of the major interstates in Georgia. So when you live in Vinings, it's really easy to get to all parts of Georgia because it's so conveniently located. On top of that, the Chattahoochee River runs through the city of Vinings and is a great place for recreation. Lots of people like to hang out there at Chattahoochee River for swimming, fishing, lots of people biking and running, hiking along the trails there along Chattahoochee River. It's a very popular place to hang out, and Vinings is certainly one of the best cities in all of Metro Atlanta. Okay, number 4 on the list for most expensive cities in Atlanta is Brookhaven. Brookhaven is well within the perimeter, very close to the city of Atlanta. The average home value in Brookhaven is $772,000 and is certainly one of the most desirable areas to live in all of Metro Atlanta. Because Brookhaven is so close to Atlanta, much of Brookhaven still has a lot of that kind of urban feel to it. There are some neighborhoods that are kind of away from the city of Atlanta, so it's not quite like living in Atlanta, but to get to Atlanta from Brookhaven is really about a 5-minute drive. We're talking about a city that is just north of Atlanta, so very easy access to all of the city of Atlanta. The schools there in Brookhaven are kind of a mixed bag. Many people who live in Brookhaven have their children going to a private school. Unfortunately, not all of the schools in this city are great, so private schools in Brookhaven are very common. Number 3 on the list is Buckhead. Many people know about Buckhead. Buckhead is one of the most popular cities in the whole country. Buckhead is just north of the city of Atlanta. The average home value in Buckhead is $797,000. Buckhead is very similar to Brookhaven. It's very close to the city of Atlanta, so they have neighborhoods here and there, but to get to Atlanta is a 5-minute or even less than 5-minute drive to the city of Atlanta. One of the main roads that runs through Buckhead is Peachtree Road. So to get to the city of Atlanta from Buckhead, Peachtree Road is the best bet. Of course, because of that, there's going to be quite a bit of traffic on Peachtree Road, especially because it's within the city limits of Atlanta. But overall, Buckhead is one of the most desirable cities to live in all of Metro Atlanta. Number 2 on the list is Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs is a very unique city when it comes to the Atlanta suburbs. The average home value in Sandy Springs is $846,000. Now, let's keep in mind that Sandy Springs has a very wide range of home values. Sandy Springs is just outside of the city of Atlanta, and some of Sandy Springs is within the perimeter, some of Sandy Springs is outside of the perimeter. So it really has a very good mix of urban feel, and some parts of Sandy Springs have a suburban feel. So the range of home values in Sandy Springs is very wide. There are some homes in Sandy Springs as low as $400,000, and there are some homes in Sandy Springs as high as $5 million. So when we factor all that together, we get an average home value of $846,000. The schools in Sandy Springs are not great. The majority of the demographic that lives in Sandy Springs is young people, people who are just starting out careers. So there's not really a whole lot of families living in Sandy Springs. Of course, there can be an exception to the rule. There are certainly some families who live there, but there's not a lot of families living in Sandy Springs, and that means that the school qualities in Sandy Springs are not great. Some of the main roads that go through Sandy Springs are Interstate 285 and Interstate 400. So many of the residents who live in Sandy Springs have access to all over the state of Georgia very quickly through the interstate system. Also going through Sandy Springs is the Chattahoochee River. As we mentioned earlier with Vinings, the Chattahoochee River is a super popular place for many people to go swimming, fishing, boating. And again, there are like walking paths and hiking paths along the Chattahoochee River, which are super popular. And the most expensive suburb in all of Atlanta is Milton, Georgia. Milton, Georgia is right on the outskirts of Metro Atlanta. Milton is in Fulton County, which is the same county that Atlanta is in. Milton is just north of Alpharetta, Georgia, but Milton is very different than Alpharetta. Where Alpharetta has that kind of typical suburban feel, Milton is a very rural city. One of the things that makes Milton so unique is the amount of horse farms that they have there. The average home value in Milton, Georgia is 1.3 million. The homes there in Milton are absolutely amazing, very beautiful. Some of the main roads that run through Milton are Crabapple Road, Mayfield Road, and Hopewell Road. None of these roads are very busy. None of them are like highways. Most of Milton has a lot of like back country roads. This is the kind of style of city that Milton is. It's very rural. When you're driving through Milton, the general feel there is like you're driving through lots of farmland. They do have every once in a while like a typical kind of neighborhood with HOAs and lots of homes, but the majority of Milton is open land, farmland, horse farms, open pastures. This is really the kind of characteristic that mainly describes Milton, Georgia. If you want to know more about what it's like to live in Milton, click on this video where we talk all about Milton, Georgia. I'll see you there.